Hello and welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena for tonight's PEC Overwatch matchup. The light shines bright and brings the spotlight to two familiar foes, Boise State and Ohio State. The Broncos looking to topple an undefeated team, while the Buckeyes try to keep their spot at the top of the pile. My name is Bryce Jensen. I'm going to be your host for tonight, joined by my fantastic co-host, AJ Pepley. And let me tell you what, AJ, a lot of stuff riding on this game. We have two more games of Overwatch until the middle of the PEC season. Where is the suspense coming from this game?
All right, so just to start things off, like we mentioned before, Ohio State is completely unbeaten so far, running a 6-0 full sweep. That's scary. Boise State, our team, running at 3-2 right now, which is still pretty good, above average, and we are slowly creeping up in terms of our skill, learning, and anything else you can mention along those lines. So I have a pretty good feeling about our team, but even then, this is a completely unbeaten team, which is not something you see very often in play like this. And I really feel like what makes this so interesting is if we win against this undefeated team, it shows, one, they aren't completely undefeatable, and they do have some sort of weak point, which maybe we can exploit. But also, maybe those other two wins that we had suffered before might show that our team is better than the standings might think. So, just a thought.
Yeah, if I remember right, Ohio State has only dropped 2 maps out of every single game.
18-2.
18-2, which is a great record. But taking a look at Week 7 of Overwatch 2, it brought a little bit of clarity to the standings and a few surprises along the way. Ohio State stands alone at the top, still undefeated at 6-0, looking every bit like the team to beat. Right behind them, Syracuse keeps getting pressure on at 5-1, continuing to prove they belong amongst the elites. In the middle of the pack, Kansas and Boise State are tied up at 3-2. Both programs fighting for playoff positioning.
Utah and Minnesota hover at 2-3, each showing flashes of potential, but searching for consistency. Baylor picks up their first win at 1-4, while Nebraska is still looking to break through as they sit at 0-6. As the regular season winds down, every map, every fight starts to matter just a little bit more.
Yeah, and especially looking at the standings right now, this will be Ohio State's last game before the midseason because they haven't had their break yet. It gets them to 7. So ending on a loss is going to put a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth if they do end up losing. So a lot of stuff rides for Ohio State. These games will also really determine who's going to be in the top and bottom halves of the standings. Boise State wins this, they go up to 4-2 and are sitting very comfortably at the top. But in an attempt to educate our audience on the PEC and their schools, we started with a quick Q&A with our players about Ohio State. Jacob Palmer was our man on the street to see what our players know about the Buckeyes.
Okay, how about this one?
It's the Buckeyes, Ohio State.
Ohio State, Ohio.
Okay, I know that's Oklahoma. Oh, Ohio State, the Ohio State.
Ew! I'm gonna go ahead and say they're in Ohio.
The Ohio State.
Where are they?
Ohio.
And where in Ohio?
Oh, crap.
In Ohio, but where in Ohio? You might have heard the rhyme, in 1492, this guy sailed the ocean blue.
Oh God, my knowledge on geography.
1492.
Genghis Khan.
All right.
I'm getting a little bit of a headache.
Columbus?
Columbus.
I believe they're in Columbus.
I'll say Columbus.
Yes, you're right there.
Oh God.
Oh, I give up.
Well, we would like to bring to your guys' attention about something new that has been buzzing around the arena as of late, and that would be our Boise State trading cards. Recently, the Broncos have paired up with the On It Studio, the same company behind the popular Boise State football cards. These are the first ever officially licensed trading cards for Division I esports program, and we are incredibly happy that they have been such a huge hit. Players have been cracking packs, comparing polls, and celebrating their teammates' cards showing up in the mix. It's a fun, collectible way to celebrate the growth of collegiate esports and the athletes who make it special. Honestly, these cards have been really great, and if you guys come to the Valorant match tomorrow, it'll be one of our featured home games, and we will be handing out a pack to everybody who shows up. So if you want to get your hands on a few cards and maybe even pull your favorite player, make sure you show up to tomorrow's Valorant match against the same opponent.
We've got some pretty cool cards in these packs. Me and Bryce actually won our own super cool packs, so...
Yeah, but taking a look at the players who are going to be playing for tonight's game, it's going to be Jonathan Foraker, Cannon Miller, Carter Jones, Will Hess, Jenny Cummins, Amanda Bailey, Mark Thana, and of course, Doc Haskell.
We can't forget our final player who doesn't show up until just about now, and then our lovely, lovely coach. Everyone here
I
is
did
very
forget
important.
about
I know. I'm not taking a dig at you, obviously.
But you know what Boise State is going to need to topple the Titan? It's Doc's keys to the game. In Overwatch, win fights before objectives, win 1v1s, position your supports, and that's so important they had to say it twice. All of this, of course, brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years combined experience, they are proud to be Boise's go-to team of local multi-generational painters who know exactly how to level up your home. Visit blueribbonpainting.net for more information.
You know, positioning your supports isn't the only thing that we see positioning, especially with our team. We always see everyone getting positioned with the fact that we have I almost said a Strider player. Strider is the player, a Wrecking Ball player. You talked about it before, that multi-front attack, so it's more than just positioning your supports, it's positioning everybody to catch them on multiple different attack angles. You gotta keep them on their toes.
Yeah, but it does look like we're going to be heading to Antarctic Peninsula for the first map, and that's a map we haven't seen yet in the PEC, and it's a nice little shakeup. As much as I love Yizhang Tower, I love Ilios, I'm less of a fan of Nepal, but that can be saved for another time. I love Antarctic Peninsula. I love the sight of it. I love the cold weather, and as it's getting cold here, I gotta say it's a great time.
Almost winter.
It is almost winter.
Technically, it's still fall, but people are already celebrating Christmas.
Yeah, it looks
Bryce, should we celebrate Christmas right after Halloween, yes or no?
No.
Okay,
that is the most obvious no I have ever given.
I'm glad we can agree on that.
But you know what else is obvious? Strider on Wrecking Ball. I mean, why would we expect anything different? With Clear moving over to the Tracer, we see King Donut rolling out on a Malga, something that we don't see a ton of. A lot of the time in these Reaper compositions, we play a little bit more of the Zarya, but it does look like Strider is going to get a little bit of damage onto the backline. Nothing really coming out of it, though, as Red is getting taken down really low. Early pick. Both Briggs are actually picked out, and Ayum is also going to fall to Lyric. You cannot underestimate the power of water that that Wu Yang brings to the table.
We see King Donuts just trying to peek their head out and deal any sort of damage, but in the midst of that, Boise State was actually able to take the point and start counting it up very slowly. Loud, just getting knocked out of the sky by Strider. Mafia hopping on the point to try and capture it, but with no luck.
Yeah, isn't quite going to find it, but Clear with the Tracer moving to push a lot of the team back. King Donut is able to get back with the rest of his team and doesn't take a whole lot of damage in the process. However, Strider and Clear both coming up on ultimates a lot earlier than the rest of the Ohio State roster. The thing is about Wu Yang in this composition, he can sort of pressure out a lot of players, just like Ayum getting immediately destroyed. Already down to a 4v5, they're looking to clean something up, but Ohio State is completely leaving Lau undefended. Red has nowhere to go, and while Maxwell may fall, both King Donut and Mafia are in a terrible position.
Mafia getting flanked by Clear. He has to do everything in his power to stay alive. Finally backed up by King Donut, but the pulse bomb comes down, sticks right on him. But Lyric actually gets the final blow.
Lyric out here stealing the kill. Boise State around 50% on the first objective, already having a very strong chokehold on it, not really allowing Ohio State to do much of anything.
That's a switch. King Donut doing everything that I love so much, switching to Roadhog. This is my favorite thing. I love Ohio State now.
Porky Pig, wink wink.
They're my new second favorite team.
Yeah, that's something you only see in Ohio.
We see Strider almost has that minefield prepped. 87%. Well, the team is up to 71% on the charge.
Oh, no.
Oh, the CC comes in strong.
As a Wrecking Ball player myself, it is a feels bad moment, but it gets out a lot of CC, and Clear is going to make good use of it. Lyric using the wave or Tidal Blast on Strider is going to knock King Donut down, and there goes the tank. The rest of Ohio State still looking to get backwards, and they just cannot find anything out of it as Yum and Mafia are both going to go down. Clear and Maxwell back to recapping the point. Ohio State got 9% in this fight. They can't say that they got 100 to 0'd, but that might have been their last chance to get any sort of foothold on this objective.
They were so close. They managed to actually capture, but what really made it difficult is they weren't able to take down Strider. They weren't able to take
Strider sitting on Hex. Oh, he's still going to go down, but Clear's going to get his shit back. Oh,
at least the pulse bomb takes him down. Going into overtime, actually Ohio State starts to take the win, but Strider comes back with the minefield, but once again gets a lot of pressure put onto him. Oh, things are looking tough for Maxwell, right at 99%. Boise State is forced to get reset. That's so tragic.
Yeah, that was incredible for Ohio State and their players. I mean, looking at the ult counters, they have almost all 5 of their players with ults. Boise State in a little bit more dire of a situation, only Maxwell and Hex going to be able to use theirs next fight. However, it doesn't come down to number of ults, it comes down to how you use them. And I think that Ohio State has the liberty of making a few more attacks. King Donut is going to miss these hook. However, all of the CC is going on to Strider as he's able to get away just barely. Maxwell going to be using the Molten Core to sort of take that objective back. But Sojourn with the Nano Boost, who's it going to find? Doesn't look like it's going to find anything but the turret as Rex goes down to a Hex dive.
Taking down one of the supports. Hex is getting a lot of pressure put on him, but both supports on Ohio State are down as the rally gets brought out. Clear takes down Mafia. All that's left is King Donut with his ult out, but is it going to matter?
Oh, man.
Ult gets recapped, and the overtime counter goes down. King Donut just does his best to stall overtime, but Boise State takes the first round.
Unfortunately, Boise State has an appetite for bacon, and King Donut left himself right there on a heated up skillet, giving them crispy bacon. I mean, crispy bacon is the only way to eat bacon, in my opinion.
Your opinion is valid, but I like chewy bacon personally.
You know, it has to be like a mix. It can't be like burnt bacon.
But it can't be like raw, obviously.
Bacon.
Yeah,
Like
you gotta have a mix. I just
Yeah.
prefer it on the chewier side.
Yeah, but Boise State really putting their nose to the grindstone on this one. We saw it in those first few fights. Them locking down Ohio State, taking out supports first, and just doing a good job at keeping
Clearly,
them
they
alive
didn't
as
listen
well.
to Doc's keys to the game when they should be positioning their supports, if you know what I mean.
And Ohio State just not listening. I mean, it's almost like they're the keys to the game. You gotta learn them.
We do see Maxwell switching to the Freya, a bit of a switch up instead of using the Torbjorn from last time. But otherwise, the comp seems relatively similar.
Yeah, well, I mean, Maxwell is the resident hit scan player, the guy who went on record to say that that Soldier's ult is a debuff because he can't hit headshots. Already getting into some confrontation with the Tracer on Ohio State's side. Mafia taking a ton of damage, forced to back off, and without recall, he's done for. Strider getting a pile drive on him, and Boise State already takes they're already one player up, and that's going to be an easy capture for him. However, King Donut looking for a hook isn't going to find it.
Hurting bad, too. We see Strider looping around the outside. Already, we see ultimates building up pretty fast from Boise State players, and a crazy hook onto Clear. That's tragic.
That is tragic, but they're going to get their get back, and Lau is going to go down to Maxwell.
No.
Strider getting taken down low, but thanks to the Pack Rat passive, he's able to get right back up and at him. King Donut's going to find Maxwell, but Boise State forced off the point, and that's going to allow Ohio State to get their first flip around the same percentage-wise, but Mafia is going to get caught out in the open, has to use recall. That isn't looking
right
good.
after the Wrecking Ball. Oh, we see Clear chasing after him with a good punch, takes him down.
Man, you'd think the real Mafia was after Mafia after that one. Holy cow, the entirety of Boise State went after him. But the point is going to be flipped right back to Boise State just after Ohio State takes it to 20.
Lots of pressure being put on a King Donut, but both tanks are building up their ults real fast. Could cause a lot of problems for either side. They're both very good for positioning and getting people off the point.
Yeah, lots of damage being put on a lot of the members of Ohio State. Just that little bit of chip damage is enough to keep the supports occupied. As Maxwell gets the bola on and with Strider as well, it's going to take a lot of the supports down. Lau is going to go down entirely. The Lucio manages to live, but Red up on his own cannot keep King Donut alive. The only thing keeping alive is the rebreather, and Yum is going to fall as well. Hex is going to get the final kill on there, but Clear might end up going down to the Mafia Donut dive. Mafia goes down to Strider, and all of the Boise State team is running after the Buckeyes. They have been cornered, pinned, boxed like a fish, and completely forced out, and Red is going to go down. King Donut is still alive. They have not been able to cook this pork quite yet.
I really got to shout out Ohio State support players doing everything in their power to keep King Donut alive. Because I often see Roadhogs going down pretty fast, but he's doing a great job with the rebreather, and the supports are doing a great job keeping him alive. So it's a good thing to point that out.
Oh, the Nano Boost once again going
right
on.
onto the Sojourn.
Yeah, going onto the Sojourn, and Lau is going to find Clear, taking them up one person in the fight, but the rally from Hex is going to be used along with the wave from Lyric. Big healing onto him, but the Pigpen and the Sound Barrier both coming out of Ohio State. All of the support ultimates have been used out of Ohio, Boise State as well, but Maxwell on the Freya still getting value up top. However, that point is going to be flipped, and Boise State might just have to back off for a little bit and regroup.
It's okay. They got time to kill right now. They are up at 87%. Ohio State only at 31 right now. And look at that ultimate advantage. Ohio State only has 2, with nowhere near any others, but Boise State has 3.
However,
obviously, also not very close.
However, think about last fight where Boise State won with a massive ult disadvantage, and it's because they were able to use them better and kill people through ultimates as well. But out comes Maxwell with the bola. Is it going to find any? No, it's not going to find anything, unfortunately, but it is going to force them off the point as Rhett goes down really low. Strider or Clear forced out of the recall, and IUM is going to find one with his overclock. Who is Lyric going to find anything with his? He's able to get out of there, but he's antied, and it might take him just a little bit to get up. Not quite able to keep Hex alive as they're both forced to back out, but this might be the end for Lyric. Yes, it is, as King Donut continues to push the advantage.
Boise State struggling to get on the point. Ohio State is actually managing to almost match their percentage value, up at 75% right now, and Boise State expended 2 of their ults and wasn't able to win that team fight. All they've got left is the Pulse Bomb, while Ohio State has their own, as well as a Nano Boost.
It's like I was saying, it's all about how you use your ultimates. The Nano Boost onto Sojourn, looking to go behind the Pulse Bomb. It's going to find Hex and do a ton of damage to Strider as well. Lyric goes down as well, but Clear in the back line is going to cap!
Oh my goodness!
It's ticking up for him. Maxwell's going to find Mafia, and both supports
King
down
Donut
for Boise
goes
State,
down!
But King Donut's down! Red's down as well!
Wait,
Clear is going on a
take it
tear!
back. Oh, they sneaky took it back! Oh, it's so close. Up at 93% right now. We see King Donut switching to the dual fist, just trying to get there as fast as possible. Maxwell's hurting.
Yes!
Right as there to back
Boise
it up. We
State
can't
takes
even
it back!
see it. We can't even see the score.
Oh, the whip shot on the King Donut, and that's gonna win it.
Wow.
Boise State takes map 1. What a round! Whoa!
That was game 1, and we're already screaming. That is insane.
What a final round. It's exactly what I said. I called it verbatim. It is not how many ults you use, it is how you use them. First round, Ohio State was down 3 ult, was up 3 ults, still lost the team fight. Same thing happened to Boise State here, but a good play out of Clear,
Dang.
getting behind the whole enemy team. You'd think he was playing Sombra for how he snuck past everyone.
That moment really caught the entirety of Ohio State off guard, and that's what really caused them to fall there at the end, because they had such a good chokehold on Boise State. But the moment they saw that point get taken, they panicked. They instantly ran back, had too many different things going on at the same time, and that allowed Boise State to take advantage of it and be able to get more of those kills. The moment that their Roadhog went down, everything fell apart.
And that's really where the Roadhog composition tends to struggle. The thing is about Roadhog is that he has a 20 to 30 meter radius that you just can't go into. The hook is that much of a threat to anybody around that 200 HP scale. And even tanks like Wrecking Ball, who have that 700 HP, have to pay that burst a lot of mind because it can open you up to a ton of burst damage. However, the thing is, if you can get around that area, Roadhog is practically useless outside of it. And when you're attacking from so many angles, you have Maxwell sitting up top, you have Clear from behind, you have Strider from behind, you have Hex and Lyric both lobbing shots from downtown. It really just shows the
issue
with
behind
this composition.
Kind of off topic, but I feel like I need to bring this up. Once again, Ohio State has 18 wins and 2 map losses, and this is week 7. And we just took their 3rd map loss in a clean sweep. So that's a woot woot if I've ever heard one, like the Sims would say.
Yeah, I think that this map was a masterclass in the Wrecking Ball composition and how it all worked. I think that it'll be really interesting to see how the rest of this game is played out. And if it were you, how would you advise Ohio State really goes ahead from here?
Honestly,
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Is your IT setup held together by duct tape and hope? Don't worry, Alpine IT Group has your back. We handle on-site support, service desks, cloud management, office phone systems, mobile device management, and more. And the best part, we can fix things remotely, so you can concentrate on your clients. Call Alpine IT Group at 1-888-720-4769 or visit alpineitgroup.com today. Scaling success together and completely duct tape free.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. It's finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great. Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. Coming off an exhilarating Game 1 of Control Point that went in Boise State's favor 2-0. Very hard fought by the Buckeyes. However, the Broncos were able to pull ahead in the very end, and I will say, what an enthralling Game 1. I'm still speechless after it.
Yeah, me and you were talking before we got off break again. We were just like, what even happened? We were going over every single thing that Boise State did, what Ohio State did. There's a lot of different things we were going over, and specifically you were bringing up their compositions were a little strange, especially with the Roadhog. You said it yourself, don't address Wrecking Ball, and that's what they tried to do. And honestly, I can't help but agree. You know, if you go after the Wrecking Ball, the one who's getting all the support, you're not going to really be able to stop him. Well, you know, you can stop him by taking down the support characters.
Yeah, and I think Roadhog could have worked. It was just a little bit too unfocused. Donut Lord was trying to go for Strider himself instead of maybe picking off Clear when he was out of position, picking off a support. But we're going to see how it sort of hands out again as we move into Runa Sapi, a little bit of push for Game 2.
I do like how things are getting a little switched up today. It makes things very interesting. I mean, it was already going to be an exciting game.
Yeah,
I mean, given the fact that it's, you know,
it is the number one team versus the defending PEC champions.
But this is even more exciting.
Yes. You know? Exhilarating.
Exhilarating, enthralling, enthusiastic maybe, exciting.
Emphatic.
Empathetic?
Oh, no, emphatic. Like E-M-P-H-I-A-T-I-C.
I know a lot of words, but I don't actually know that one.
Emphatic is like big and important.
Okay. What about...
just like Roadhog.
Empire State Building.
Windon.
Maybe we'll see the Windon today.
Empire State Building.
Wow. I sure hope there isn't a giant lizard that breathes fire that fights Winston on the Empire State Building.
Actually, the lizard does not breathe fire. He shoots a highly condensed plasma beam of atomic particle. Okay.
Sure,
that's enough about the Godzilla lore. Onto this map, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Wrecking Ball band come out for here.
It's a very open map.
It's a very open map. Push maps are always really good for Ball. He's got a lot of space to run. He's got a lot of space to go. Lots of health packs just innately close to one another, which Wrecking Ball really, really likes. So it'll be interesting to see how it's all played around.
Honestly, I might expect to see another Torbjorn out of Maxwell on this map, considering we've seen a lot of success out of him on push, specifically in previous maps, especially given just how Molten Core works.
Oh, yeah.
So unless they did the ban on Torb, which I don't think I've ever seen.
No, we've seen one. We saw one last week.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we saw one last week.
It's unlikely.
Yeah, it is very unlikely, considering that there are usually some better options. But then again, I mean, it's also Strider, so he kind of just...
a Malga, a Tracer...
Lucio and Reaper.
Oh, we got Sigma out today.
Sigma out of Strider. We've seen a little bit of the Sigma, just not a whole lot, but into Malga, this might be the better of the plays. You can block a lot of his damage, stop a lot of his cardiac overdrive from healing, and also you have your Gravitic Grasp as well, which allows you to regain a lot of that lost health.
He's already at 25% ult build up. He's dealing some hefty damage onto Ohio State right now. EM is hurting real bad.
Yeah. that area damage is nothing to sneeze at, as Maxwell is getting a lot of chip damage onto the backline of Ohio State. They can't really do a whole lot out of it without expending a lot of resources. King Donut really just coming in trying to do something, but nothing's going to come out of it. Lyric taking a bit of damage, Hex taking a bit of damage too, but Clear's going to go down to Ayum with the grenade. That's what you want to see if you're Ohio State, but Maxwell's going to be found by Ayum as well. Just the Cassidy in the backline is doing what Cassidy's do, catching people off guard, and that's going to be a fight win for Ohio State.
Boise State started off strong, dealing hefty damage. Strider already at 72%, but then a quick reversal out of Ohio State, and now they have control of the wall. Building up to about 20 meters, they are in the lead and making their way towards that first checkpoint.
Yeah, they allowed for Ayum to get behind him and just a ton of damage to be farmed
get
off.
behind him.
Yeah, Ayum get behind him. Maxwell, though, in the backline, doing what he does best, flanking around, taking attention away from his team. But however, they're just going to completely ignore him as he's looking for something to shoot at. But Lyric is going to be found. Ayum taking him down, and Maxwell still just not really finding a whole lot as the backline is getting peppered. Ayum's going to find Strider, and Hex taken down to 1, found by Ayum, and Clear is in between a rock and a hard place. By a rock, I mean Cassidy, and a hard place, I mean the robot, and Maxwell's going to be hit by the grindstone.
Yeesh. They should have just brought out Ayum with the Cassidy last round, because he is definitely the MVP so far, getting so many kills, hard focusing on the supports, flanking from behind. He's exactly what Ohio State needed to make this comeback.
Yeah.
They are already getting taken down with a headshot.
Ooh. Yeah, with the forward spawn being given, Clear trying to use Gravitic Flux, finds something, gets behind the cover, but it doesn't find any kills out of it. That orbital is just a little bit too strong. It gives a little bit too much healing to kill through. Out comes the rally from Red, and that's going to result in Strider going down. Not enough healing. Pulse Bomb comes through, doesn't connect to anything as Clear gets taken down by the photon torpedoes. Lyric trying to keep his teammate alive, however, the rest of the team will fall.
Already pushing forward at 115 meters. They are already in less than 3 minutes up towards Boise State's endpoint.
Strider with his quick swap onto Ramatra that might help just a little bit with the piercing damage, and Sigma is just getting ran up on a little bit too much. King Donut running up is going to use the cage with the Kitsune Rush. Out comes the beat from Hex. It's not going to find any. It's going to find Lyric, the one person who didn't get the beat. Oh no, Clear trying to find a little bit of damage as well, but with Lyric down, he's going to have to get it quick. King Donut's going to go down. The ramp up's just a bit too much as Clear is still just hanging out on the objective with the Symmetra. The teleport, he's really thinking with portals now. Mafia goes down, Red soon to follow, and while he may go down, Ayum is taken down solo. It's a fight win for Boise State. Finally putting a 1 up on the board, and the bot is pushing back that way.
That was a scary place to be in. Almost like less than a quarter of the way into the game, and Ohio State almost got the robot to the end. Look, there's just a little sliver of it left. Boise State has a lot of ground to make up here if they want to make this win. Maxwell switching to the Bastion too. We got a lot of comp switch that's happening out of our team.
Yeah, the pokier composition that they were trying just wasn't quite working out, but into King Donut, such a large target, it might just help out. Didn't take it down low, but with Mafia, it's going to allow Maxwell to go down. However, Strider running straight at him. The Death Blossom comes through, but it's not going to stop Red from getting taken out. Along with Mafia, the Blossom finds nothing, as it is just Lau by himself in the backline. A Juno with no team, and the forward spawn is lost for Ohio State.
Boise State finally made their way back to the wall, getting themselves a little bit of a push, pun intended. We also see that whole wall ready by Clear and Lowy. Right as I say that though, Orbital Ray gets brought out, and as well as the wall.
That's exactly
that
what
could
you
be
need.
heavy damage.
Oh,
he gets taken down by Ray.
King Donut, he needs to find a different food because all the donuts are out of stock. Hex trying to find something on an off angle, isn't going to find it, but the wall does expire for Clear. Teleporting up to the high ground, looking to contest it. It's a really good spot for people like Ayum to sit. However, he is going to flush that one out. I do see the swap from King Donut onto Ramatra. We're going to see a little bit of a Ramatra off, something that we haven't seen yet, but is always a joy to watch. Just two big guys punching each other. Call it UFC for the boxing that goes on.
Oh, you hear the Deadeye coming out. They got to be real careful. If anyone steps out, they could get taken down. Fortunately, Strider's kept alive. Oh, an artillery form is getting brought directly onto King Donut, dealing a lot of hefty damage.
And he forces the Omnic form as well. Strider getting to use
coming
it,
out right
getting
now.
to use his ultimate, running up on the entire team, doing tons of damage. Who's he going to find?
Look at our
Ohio
players.
State really
They're so
looking to
locked
find in
in.
a corner. It does sound like Boise State is winning, as the Strider Ramatra seems to be doing a lot better.
Mafia's down. That's good.
Mafia
One of the
goes down.
biggest damage people out for the count. Ooh, dealing a lot of damage to King Donut. Boise State has definitely switched from going after the supports to after the tanks. IM goes down. Both of their DPS characters are down. Mafia is able to come back. But just so much pressure being put on as Boise State pushes forward, nearly reaching the 100-meter mark.
Yeah, out comes Hex, trying to find another kill just off the side. Isn't going to find it. However, Mafia is taking Strider down in a ton of health. He is almost to his ultimate as well. He could have that at any point now. Maxwell getting taken down by Mafia. However, Hex going to swing back for his day one. Out comes the Sim Wall. Red is going to get run down. The whip shot's going to take him away. However, playing around that Sim Wall, Clear is still able to get a ton of damage in. Lyric is going to go down to Lau, but the Annihilation comes through from Ohio State, and that's going to force Boise State off the point. As Strider goes down, it's just Clear left on the point, and IM is going to finish it off. Hex manages to come back, but Proton Torpedoes, he can't really get around something that auto-aims.
Oh, and they got all 5 players pushing that robot. It is moving very fast back towards that starting point.
It only moves at one speed. Unfortunately, it's not like a
for
escort.
the dramatic aspect, Bryce.
No,
I don't want to hear it.
It's not dramatic.
Let me make things interesting. That's my job.
However, looking at the ultimate spectrum, Boise State doesn't have as many to work with. Mafia and IM both looking at using theirs in the next fight. Maxwell doing a little bit of damage to King Donut, just peppering him out. Out comes the speed ring, but the portal behind is going to lead 2 people behind him. Death Blossom's going to find Lyric. Hex goes down as well, but Red goes down to Maxwell right before the form goes out. Out comes Artillery, and Annihilation is wasted. It only gets a few ticks of damage, and Clear's going to go down soon after.
Oh, that's tough. IM still has that Deadeye too, but a double out of Maxwell.
Still behind him.
Dealing some good damage. It is forcing Ohio State to wait a little bit as Hex is actually able to gain control of the robot. Maxwell might have gone down, but it might have been what they need to push forward just a little bit, but only 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Boise State needs to make some incredible plays to make this comeback.
Yeah, Hex just sitting on the robot, keeping it from moving any farther, looking to find a little bit of damage. The speed ring is already used, so that's one thing that Lau doesn't have for his team anymore. Mafia looking to be sped out, doesn't have the Death Blossom. However, King Donut, Yum, and Lau all having their ultimates, and Red just coming up with theirs.
Oh, that's the rally and the Deadeye.
Oh, it's going to find Strider, and Hex going down to King Donut soon after. Clear looking to find any sort of kills, just not going to find anything.
Yeesh. And all Boise State has is that Kitsune rush. We do see that sound barrier on the way, though. And slowly the team is building up some more. Maxwell throwing down his red. I don't know what they were doing.
What is Maxwell doing?
I don't know any of what's happening.
He is a funny man. He does a lot of very silly things. Out comes the Vortex out of Strider, looking to pincer the team. He's able to do it fairly well as the entire team is focused on Maxwell, and now they're not. And he's getting free damage in. He's just existing. He's doing his thing.
He's doing a silly robot activity.
Yeah, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
I think we need more Omnics on Boise State's side. We should bring out Orisa. I know it's not possible, but you get my point.
He plays Zen.
That's true.
Oh, out comes
King Donut's hurt for
Out
health.
comes Bolt Portals, and King Donut's down! Another ult wasted out of the Ramatras. Maxwell's going to die, but not before his artillery gets a little bit of value. Mafia goes down, Hex goes down, IM goes down. The bot is pushed back. Forward spawn is gone for Ohio State. It is just Red and Lau left. Never mind, no one is left, and Boise State is continuing to push.
Get it?
Yeah.
Sorry. We do see a couple ults ready on the side of Boise State, which is a bit of an advantage here, but there's only 40 seconds left on the clock. They probably are going to be bringing this into overtime unless they can make these team fights happen at lightning speed.
Yeah, Boise State is really good at making the most out of low ult situations.
Good flank
Red
under
taking
Red.
A lot of damage. I am taking out Clear early. That's going to hurt, especially with the ult being online. Clear going is down. They're currently at a 45, but Mafia getting caught off guard. Lots of damage going through, but Strider's going to fall. Not enough healing goes onto him as King Donut and the rest of this team are still continuing to push. Maxwell trying to do a bit of damage. King Donut also getting taken down low. Maxwell on 6 HP is able to get back, but not for enough time. The shotguns do a bit too much damage.
We are seeing overtime getting brought out, but the Death Blossom again, as well as the Deadeye. That's just taking down all the Boise State's players. Strider quickly switching to the Doomfist to try and touch. But unfortunately, Ohio State will take game 2 on push.
Yeah, that was a tough game for Boise State, not really able to find the foothold that they wanted in order to really get through. And I think that will be, I believe that was the Wrecking Ball ban. We didn't see him come out. And just not being able to take out the supports. We saw it a few times. However, the only times we really saw supports get taken out were when Maxwell was in the backline doing his little shenanigans.
Well, yeah, we definitely did see their plan this game was focusing more on King Donut, just always going after him, always dealing that high damage. And it worked out pretty well for a little bit, I have to say. Like, their high damage output onto the tank was actually dealing working well in their favor. But then after a while, they just started to get picked off one by one. It's just Ohio State's DPS players are on another level. They were incredible with their aim, with their picks, always knowing who to focus on, and that's what really set it apart from Boise State.
It also comes down to the character selection as well. When you can, if you can focus down Malga, he's got a really big hitbox, but he's also got, he's got a really big hit pool, but he's also got a really big hitbox. Makes it really easy to rack up that damage and take him down super quick and just burn through the team fight. Ramatra, a lot smaller of a tank, a lot smaller of a hitbox, has a lot of potential to deal damage, and they were continuing the same strategy on a tank that requires a little bit different strategy to play around. You need to take out his supports. And we were seeing that out of Ohio State, getting behind, taking out Hex and Lyric very early on in the fight. We saw it with Iyum being able to get behind him. And we weren't quite able to see that out of Boise State, continuing to shoot at the Ramatra instead of anyone else.
Well, maybe given the chance that the Wrecking Ball ban is over, they might have a, well, Boise State might get back in their original mindset, their original composition, go back to do what they do best. Obviously, they still do a fantastic job when they're not on that ball pick, but it's what they know best, it's what they do best, so maybe, given the fact that they're going to be back on to what they know, maybe that'll allow them to finally turn the tide once again, and maybe we'll see Boise State go up 2-1.
Yeah, they might just reverse the tide.
You're a funny man, Bryce. You know that.
I am the internet funny man.
Are you? You're not on the internet, actually.
Technically, I am because this does all get
is actually fake, and you don't know anything.
Yes, it's all fake, but not faker. We don't do League of Legends.
Well, we kind of do, but we don't stream it.
We don't stream League of Legends. We do have a league team, but we do not stream League.
Shout out our league team. I think they're playing back there right now, actually.
I believe so.
I usually see them playing when we walk in.
I don't know a thing about League.
I don't either.
People say Overwatch is complicated, and I mean, I sort of get that. I mean, 60-plus characters do get a little bit hard to keep track of. But then try, like, 200, and it's like,
I think
how does any of this work?
What makes the big difference is Overwatch is just more, it's more difficult on a in-depth level.
Yeah, but we would like to quickly give a thank you to Dairy West. Today's stream is brought to you in part by local dairy farmers and the dairy protein they produce. Thanks to them, Boise State Esports has access to the next level funding options that keep our players playing at their peak. Unbottled, the dairy protein that powers your performance. Visit unbottled.com for more information.
I think why Ohio State really started to pull through in that second game is because they drank their Dairy West milk.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably have like Dairy North milk because,
well,
Northwest.
Yeah. I'm taking away your funny title. You're no longer the internet funny man. I am now the internet funny man. And what's funny is that I'm a little scared all of a sudden for the rest of these games because obviously Boise State still pushed real hard, pun intended, yet again. But Ohio State really showed their prowess there during push, and it makes me concerned. Are they going to continue doing what they did during push, or was just that last game a bit of a tough one for Boise State? Maybe not expecting to see their baseline tank getting banned on one of the better maps.
Well, I think they would expect that Wrecking Ball is going to be banned on Runasapi. Every time we've seen the Wrecking Ball ban, it has been on a push map or a control map that really favors Wrecking Ball, such as Lijiang Tower. However, Ohio State still has to win 2 more games in order to pull one through. We saw how they struggled against the Wrecking Ball in Game 1. Or struggled may not be the best word, but how they didn't really have a good answer to it and tended to kind of get caught off guard. So they still have to win 2 maps like that. And with Boise State picking the next map, if they're going to get a win, this is the time.
Though Boise State also, the same thing can be said about them. We still got to win 2 more maps, so it's equal stakes for both sides right now, at least in terms of map wins. Overall, Ohio State, they can win this game, and they'll be at 7-0, business as usual. But Boise State, we are wanting to, I shouldn't say we, I'm not them. I am not the one playing this game right now. I'm not nearly good enough for that. But our team, they really want to be able to win this game. One, so they can set themselves up in that upper half, like you mentioned when we were talking about the standings, but also because then they could flaunt and say that they managed to take down the streak of the unbeatable Ohio State. So it's a lot of pressure on the teams.
Managed to take a can off the top of the pyramid, but For the looks of things, we are going to be moving into Game 3, and if I'm not mistaken,
That's Ilios.
that's Ilios.
Funky.
I'm not going to complain. I like Ilios.
I honestly think we should see Roadhog again.
Yes.
Because, you know,
two
it's
Roadhogs on well.
Exactly.
With Lucios.
No.
Oh, no, it's watch
I was
point.
like,
It's watch point.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't an idiot, but I'm like, I don't think we could see 2 control
Yeah,
points.
we don't normally see 2 control points, but to be fair, beautiful seaside views, nice greenery,
A couple birds here and there.
birds here and there.
I don't think I've ever seen
That may or
this
may
map.
not work for the bourgeoisie. We don't know.
I honestly, in the entire time I've been at this job, I don't think I've ever seen this map getting brought out. Like,
I've seen it a few. We saw it a few times.
I don't.
We
remember.
saw it not last week, but the week before against.
Well, that happened to be the one time I was gone, bro.
Yes.
So that's probably why.
Oh, that is probably why. But yes, we have seen this map before. It plays really well into Boise State's more vertical style. Like, think about Maxwell playing the Freya a whole lot. Think about Clear on the Tracer. A lot of characters that can get up into a lot of places and do funny things. Of course, Wrecking Ball is a given.
Imagine if Tracer could blink up.
She actually can. She has a small bit of verticality on her blink.
But, like, straight up.
So it just goes in whatever direction you're facing.
Pretty much, yeah. That
Flying
would be
Tracer. But then you have to make her take fall damage.
Honestly, I'm down for that.
So like you can go up, but then
Is the fall damage really brutal, or is it like pretty nice?
I would say it's pretty forgiving.
Okay.
But you still take the fall damage.
So you can't fly up into the sun and then come crashing down like Icarus.
But
You
if we're
have
gonna do
like,
that,
you know.
then Farah needs to take fall damage too.
But she has a big like robot suit, so she's fine. Obviously.
But
you
I
ever
don't
play
know if she's
Portal
got the
2?
shocks in her heels though.
I don't know.
To cushion the landing.
Maybe she should have learned something from Chell.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe. You know what I hope to see on this map?
What's that?
I hope we see a little bit of Winton gaming.
I mean,
Winton
this is
Overwatch.
basically the Winton map.
This is Winton.
Both
This is
gameplay
Winston,
and
this is
lore-wise.
Diva. This is all the dive tanks that we like to see. A little bit. We saw a little bit of Doomfist the last time this map came up, which is always fun to see. A good Doomfist player is always fun to watch. However, I know the Wrecking Ball is going to come out from Boise State.
But what if he doesn't? Then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna?
I'm gonna put in my 2 weeks. I'm
You're
kidding.
gonna ditch me? Don't worry, guys. I will solo cast Overwatch.
I will hold the point.
You know,
I will stand my
I'm going
ground.
to jump
I will hold
inside
my
of the
post.
Overwatch game, and I will take the point.
And I will hop in the Wrecking Ball suit and roll around.
Just like fumbling around like a brick in a washing machine.
Yeah, just like a cinder block in a dryer. Just.
We are really getting a nice look at the scenery today,
Yeah.
guys. I feel like they heard us talking about the greenery and the rocks and the birds, and they're like, maybe we should get a nice look at the greenery and the rocks and the birds.
Welcome to MTV Cribs, your best home tours in the Overwatch universe. Today, we have exclusive rights to take a trip around Watch Point Gibraltar, home of the former government agency Overwatch, defenders of humanity during the Omnic Crisis. As you can see, massive garages, able to hold at least 3 cars.
But we're
going
going
to
into
have
the
to put
game.
this on hold as the
Maxwell
game has
on the
started.
Hanzo.
Maxwell and the
Holy
Hanzo, yeah, something we don't
guacamole.
see a whole lot, but Boise State is going to be on defense first, something that I have talked with a lot of the players, and they say they like going on defense first. You know how far you get pushed, that's where you have to get to on offense.
Makes sense. We do also see EM on the Ashe, which doesn't surprise me given the fact that he played the other country character last
Cassidy.
game. Yeah, Cassidy. And, you know, hit scan, medium long range character, it kind of makes sense. With explosive, too.
But,
just
but
different
we
kind
are
of
going to see King Donut on the Diva. Some we haven't seen him break out quite yet. The Symmetra immediately gets shunted off high ground. Lau getting taken down incredibly low, but is able to get right back out. Strider also being taken down quite a bit, as Maxwell is just peppering him with arrows from the inside. This high ground is going to be really hard for Ohio State to take the conventional way. However, with Diva continuously getting right up in Maxwell's face, it's going to force them back.
Good having that defense. Matrix trying to take down EM, but gets knocked away just the last second. Oh, hurting for health, just barely makes it out. 150 health, gets the large med pack and is able to stay alive. Maxwell doing his best to stay alive as the pressure gets put onto him. Oh, King Donut's bot gets taken down. Good stuff.
Oh, Clear dropping on Mafia. Takes the health. Oh, he doesn't take the health back, but Mafia does go down incredibly low, forces the recall out, and now Ohio State is forced to go back. King Donut swapped.
Yeah,
off
I
of
was about to
Diva
point that
back
out. Just
onto
very quickly onto the Doomfist, and then immediately back to the Diva.
He's like, maybe not. This might not be the play.
The little birdie on his shoulder was like, don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to regret it.
The skeleton on his shoulder was like, my son, or
the mech
will
on
play
his
it. But King Donut and Lau both getting taken down
double.
low. Lau and Yum both going down. Ohio State down 2 as Strider dives on Rhett, and Clear is going to punch Brig right in the face.
That's good. King
In the
Donut
face.
hurting for health, too. That mech is just a little sliver left. Almost back to spawn, though. Should keep her alive.
Man, that thing is limping. That thing's limping like a 97 Chevy Silverado.
Look at these ultimates. We got like multiple 95, 96s out of Boise State right now, and then a couple between 60 and 70.
Yeah, the constant swapping out of Ohio State is really taking a toll on their ultimate counter. Clear doing a little bit of damage to Mafia. With Strider is able to force the recall. Mafia is going to have to get back out of there. Out comes the Dragon. Out comes the Dragon out of Maxwell. Doesn't find anybody. In fact, King Donut is going to take him out instead. Clear and Strider both looking in the back line for something to shoot at. Mafia getting taken down low. Once again, recall's forced and forced to back off. However, high ground does go firmly to Ohio State as Strider is like, no, this is my health pack. You can't take it. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
We see him swooping all the way back around, putting the pressure onto Rhett. Just trying to deal as much damage to the sports as possible.
Oh, out comes the Kitsune Rush, but the field is immediately used afterwards. It's going to find Lau, but Maxwell's going to go down as well. Strider just chilling on the point's going to prevent it from going forward. Mafia getting taken down low, forced to use the pulse bomb, doesn't find anything out of it as Boise State continues to make a little bit of progress back towards the point. Clear is forced to use his recall, but the whip shot is going to find Yum before Rhett can get his ultimate off. A rally is going to go through, but the point is still moving. Rhett goes down to Strider, and King Donut is forced back to the point, trying to make a little bit more leg room. Mafia is going to go down, and that's it for King Donut. 1 minute remains on the clock.
Oh, and they're going for the heavy reset onto the tank.
Oh, no.
Not to hurt it.
Oh, the
Nasty.
stagger hurts,
Crazy.
especially with this little amount of time.
Yeah, only 50 seconds left on the clock. Boise State was forced to use all of their ultimates, and King Donut does have that self-destruct at the ready. But Clear is slowly working his way towards that pulse bomb. Oh, and we do also see the Deadeye out of EM.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
However, it is only Deadeye and self-destruct. It's a really odd combination of
very
combos.
good zoning
Ooh,
holds.
Hex! Hex is going to go down to Yum early! Oh, that's not good for Boise State, losing a really good support character as Mafia goes onto the point, pushing out
that
Lyric.
was a
He's going to get
nasty
red!
shot.
Maxwell's not just good at the hit scan, but he's also going to take Diva
that's
down,
tough.
force the self-destruct. Lyric is going to go down to Lau. The hinder goes on to Strider, and I think that might be the hamster down.
No.
Yes, it is, with the health pack just barely in sight. Clear still holding on to hope, still on the point, has to use recall, but that little bit of time might just buy Boise State enough to get back, but the hinder is going to come through at the worst time, and that's going to be the point for Ohio State, managing to get to the first one. 2.5 minutes left on the clock.
But they spent almost the entirety of Ohio State's time. That was very good. Those two, having both self-destruct and Deadeye, two very good zoning holds, especially for that endpoint, was a really bad spot for the team to be in, but they were still able to make something work.
Yeah, Lyric getting taken down to half is forced to go back out. Strider also being taken out early. King Donut on a rampage is able to save Yum and just long enough to take out Clear. Maxwell trying to get pressure out. King Donut is going to break the mech. Is going to opt against the wall. Not going to do it quite yet. Said it's not time to build it.
I mean, now that we see Baby Diva, it's a good idea just to hold on to it until a better situation can come out. Dropping the portal, but not using it.
It was just a fluke as Clear comes through with the Genji. And taking out Diva right before her ult came up. Wow, that's not what you want to see if you're Ohio. As Yum goes down. Oh,
double.
Oh, but Mafia taking the point all the way back. Oh, almost a C9 out of Boise State. That would have hurt.
That would have been tough. A minute on the clock, brought down by Ohio State, but they're so close to that second checkpoint.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, just as they all regrouped, too, Lau goes down
Losing
early.
Support is tough. We do see a lot of ultimates out of Ohio State. 2 at the ready, 2 nearly. But Strider and Hex do also have theirs.
Yeah,
Lyric on the way.
Yeah, 4 out of the 5 Ohio State members have their ultimates. Clear coming up about halfway to his. 60 seconds on the clock. Kitsune Rush used out of Lau on that high ground, looking to contest it and get a little bit of damage through. Clear manages to get out just barely and is back onto point. Takes out Mafia.
Crazy
What
shot
a
from Lyric.
Lyric is going crazy with the kunai, and it's going to allow him and Clear to keep that point safe. Lau getting taken down low due to Strider, and Maxwell's unable to get out. Lau gets his get back to Kitsune. Kitsune rush out of Boise State. It's going to allow Clear to do something, but out comes the Deadeye, and Lyric is going to reflect it. It gets wasted. The rally comes out from both teams. Strider with the better mind gets two. He gets 2 mines. He gets a third on King Donut, and that is it for Ohio State. They cannot win here.
And that is going to be your unbottled play of the game. Brought to you by Dairy Farm Families. Refuel, recover, repeat. Visit unbottled.com for more information.
You beat me to it.
I did, because you were taking too long, Bryce.
Yes, King Donut he does get back to the point. This isn't quite it for Ohio.
Oh, Wrecking Ball down,
but not wiped. Oh, Dragon Blade out of Clear. I think it's pretty safe to say that that is going to be it for Ohio State's offense. Boise State looking to push it the same distance.
What even happened there at the end? I don't know what Boise State did, but the moment that Kitsune rush got brought out, doubled with the minefield. I'm actually answering my own question right now. They got everyone healed up. Strider had a fantastic place to put that minefield. Was able to run down King Donut before she was able to get back in her mech, and then everything else just fell apart.
I mean, think about it from this perspective. You have to go through the Kitsune rush in order to get to the point. But when that Kitsune rush is also a minefield, only really Tracer and D.Va can get through. D.Va getting taken down incredibly early meant that the D.Va bomb had to be used, and that just meant they didn't have a fallback option. Ohio State needs that in order to get through, and it's what we've seen. They need the ultimates in order to sustain, but Boise State playing their ultimates just a little bit smarter.
And they are in a pretty good spot for taking this win right now. Ohio State only made it about halfway through the entire route. So they've got a pretty good chance. If they're able to take the first checkpoint faster than Ohio State was, they'll be in a great spot.
They'll essentially have to get to checkpoint 2 because of how
close it was.
Just because of how far the Tracer pulled it on the Ohio State's offense.
It was like we saw in Game 1 with Clear with a sneaky take onto the control point as the Tracer. We saw Ohio State's Tracer with the sneaky push on the payload.
I will say, at least it didn't result in the capture, because I've seen that before, and that's always so heartbreaking.
We would still be in round 2 right now. Or round 1, you know what I mean. Oh, look who it is! It's Winston!
It went done.
It went done.
Went done.
We're so happy to see this. Monkey gets brought out. The Rilla. I like how we have both of the wild animals that aren't actually wild.
Both of the moon-based animals, but Strider putting a lot of damage onto Winston is able to force him out.
Good stuff right there. See a lot of damage being shot up top. Maxwell switching over to the Sojourns. In general, though, the rest of their composition stays the same.
Yeah, with the amount of verticality Sojourn has, you have a lot of opportunity to really get up and out of Lau, getting taken down incredibly low, but nothing really found out of it. Is going to teleport right up with the Winston, and it's going to be enough to take out Lyric along with the Where did the Cassidy come from?
They're still pushing the payload.
They're still pushing the payload.
They're still going, forcing the entire team back. I want to say it's Strider. It's always Strider.
Yeah.
They're on the point. Got it about 2/3, 3/4 of the way there. Maybe 4/5 if I'm feeling generous.
Yeah. Strider looking to do something. Lau is trying to do damage. The thing is, the kunais deal a lot of damage to the head, but not a ton to the body. But Strider getting taken down solo without any support is going to result in the team taking him down. King Donut is by himself, but Mafia is going to find Clear. Boise State's going to have to back up.
Still made it a pretty decent distance. They got 3 minutes left on the clock. Maxwell taking a lot of
shield
damage.
Manages to keep him out. Oh, blocking the healing. You hate to see it.
Oh, lots of pressure being put onto Eam. You see Strider swinging around on the bridge, but isn't able to find a lot. More pressure being put on the King Donut as he's able to jump away, and we see Maxwell switching over to the Torb.
And Strider is pushing the point.
Okay, we are slowly trying to sneak onto the payload. Oh, the hinder onto Strider. It's okay though. He's able to take the big health back.
Yeah, he's able to get the health back. He's able to get a good lunchable snack. He's able to get it back up.
We should add Lunchly.
Yeah, Ohio State still holding up the point, is going to use Kitsune Rush in order to keep that point theirs. However, the Winston is going to be forced to use his jump, is back on the high ground, but the Cassidy is going to find both DPS. That is not what you want to see if you're Boise State, especially with Hex in the backline. I bet you he's trying to push the point, but it's not as effective with a character like Brig, and King Donut's going to find it.
We see a lot of ultimates out of both sides. 3 out of each, and then Strider almost there with that minefield.
Yeah, he will have that by the time the real team fight starts, and that's really where it's going to come down. Who's going to use their ults better? Who's going to use less of them?
The turret, no.
No, the best aimer on the team is down. What will they do without it?
Lots of damage being put on the King Donut, forcing him back, but Lyric goes down.
Goes down early, but Ayam is gone. Lau is gone too. Lyric taking down 2, and the Primal Rage is also forced. Hex with the rally is able to push up. They take the high ground as they are continuing to push forward. Rhett is going to use his rally as well, looking to salvage this push. However, Strider with the damage is going to push them into a hole as the point keeps pushing.
Ooh, a good flank, putting lots of damage on the Rhett.
Oh,
they're going to take him down.
Oh,
not enough. And then, Strider goes down as well as Lyric. And with the Kitsune Rush get brought out, they aren't able to get any use out of it. It even got wasted. Only a minute
No, it doesn't get wasted because Ayam goes down to the turret.
Okay, good. Thank you, Turret, for being the MVP as usual. Clear does his best to get there, but Rhett slings him from a distance.
Yeah.
And all they have left right now is the minefield and EM with the Deadeye.
Ohio State and Boise State both looking at the same amount of ultimates. Mafia coming up close on his along with Clear. Maxwell is going to have his hair fairly fast as well. However, Strider has not been able to find the value that he's been looking for on this map so far. Clear
30
in
seconds.
the backline, drops the minefields, forces the swift step out of the Kiriko. King Donut
King
taking
Donut
down
hurting.
so low, but no one's going to take him down. No one shoots him.
Wait,
but
but
Ayam.
another great pulse bomb on EM, a second time.
Man, he has been eating these things for breakfast, but the pulse bomb goes on to Lyric, doesn't quite hit him though, as Mafia is forced to back
they're
out.
So close. Only a few more meters left and a couple more seconds left on the clock, but just in time, King Donut shows up with 2.5 meters left. The turret gets taken down, the Deadeye gets brought out. Things to be looking pretty bad if anyone gets taken down by it, as well as the Kitsune Rush.
Strider lives!
He lives, but not for long. He's hurting real bad. And there he goes. This is tough. And everyone else starts to fall like dominoes. And that means Ohio State will be taking Escort.
Yeah, Boise State was not quite able to really push their advantage that they had there, and Ohio State was going to push right back on it. Ohio State taking the lead and bringing us to match point.
Strider with that play of the game, though. Probably from the end of round 1, I can imagine. Yep, right there at the end. Kitsune Rush into the minefield.
Yeah, they just weren't quite able to find a response to the...
Diva got bowled over.
Yeah, they weren't able to find a response to the Tracer and the Tracer and the Cassidy. We saw it so much, and they weren't able to force the Winston off high ground either. Just not enough damage coming through onto the supports, not enough damage onto the tank. We saw King Donut on 1 health so many times, but just never enough to take him out entirely.
King Donut just did a fantastic job at keeping the supports alive, because so many different instances I saw Strider or Maxwell hard focusing on the supports, but then the moment they get brought down to just that little tick of health, we just saw King Donut show up with the jump, with the bubble shield, whatever it was. He was able to save them just in the nick of time, and then that allowed them to stay alive long enough to take down whoever was chasing down that support character. So many different instances Boise State got so close to taking down the supports, but every single time, just a lot of synergy between King Donut as well as his supports kept them alive long enough to waste all of Boise State's time.
Yeah, with all of that, we are going to head to a quick break before we get into what could be match point. Ohio State currently leading 2-1, but we will continue this game right after a short break.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. It's finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great. Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. comes out of the blue.
Is your IT setup held together by duct tape and hope? Don't worry, Alpine IT Group has your back. We handle on-site support, service desks, cloud management, office phone systems, mobile device management, and more. And the best part, we can fix things remotely, so you can concentrate on your clients. Call Alpine IT Group at 1-888-720-4769 or visit alpineitgroup.com today. Scaling success together and completely duct tape free.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Hello everybody, my name is Bryce, and welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena as we continue our coverage of Boise State versus Ohio State. Ohio State did take the last game. They're currently sitting 2-1 in a best of 5 series, so this could be Boise State's last chance to put a point on the board if they do not get the win against Ohio State in this next map. So, how are they going to do that?
They are going to play real good, they're going to play real hard, and they're going to use, say it with me, Bryce, the power of friendship.
Yes.
We rehearsed this, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
I
We
love
didn't
power of
rehearse
friendship.
that.
It's the best. It's the best thing
In all
ever.
seriousness, though, I really think what I'm noticing a lot of is they opted for a strategy that worked pretty well in the first round, that being hard focusing on Ohio State's tank, but that has been slowly not working quite as well as we had seen before. So I really think if they're able to go back to Ducks key, well, actually it's positioning the supports, but if they're able to go back to taking down those supports first, I really think that'll work a lot better in their favor. I know they tried last round, but, well, Winston the GOAT.
Yeah, and it's a very hard map. Watchpoint Gibraltar is a hard map for just about everybody.
Yep.
It's a very defender-sided map, especially with all that high ground. And we saw that with Boise State. They just weren't quite able to get as far as Ohio State was. However, we have elected to go to Suravasa, the place that might make or break this series for the Broncos.
Well, maybe a flashpoint is what they need, because they did really well on Control.
Yeah.
So maybe they just need more Control-esque maps.
Control, but more.
Control, but more. Yeah, they just do what they did, but like a lot more. And then, hey, if we do end up seeing that hybrid, then, you know, maybe it'll be a bit of both. It'll go overtime, and we'll be here for the next 3 hours as overtime keeps ticking down.
Yes,
Yep.
we love overtime.
Yep. Just like we love Overwatch, too.
Yes.
Did you know they released a second Overwatch?
Yeah, that's so odd. And they called it Paladins.
You know, there's not a lot that can catch me off guard, but you got me there.
All right, but it does look like Boise State continuing their Wrecking Ball play. It does look like the Symmetra is going to be coming out along with a Bastion. Maxwell is really looking for a way to get this Bastion to really start working as Strider is in the back line doing his thing. King Donut finds himself on the Ramatra once again. Saw a lot of success with it on the push map. Forces out the deflect out of Mafia.
He's hurting.
Genji's hurting for certain. And he's actually going to go down to
go.
Strider. Early pick out of Boise State, and that's going to allow them to take the first point.
Very quickly building it up and able to start controlling the flashpoint. Lots of damage being put onto King Donut. Mafia actually switching. Is that... What?
If I were to take a guess, I would say that the Tracer was banned this time around.
Most likely.
That's why we're seeing Mafia on some different characters. Clear, teleporting Maxwell up to the high ground, is able to force Ohio State off the point. It's just King Donut on the point, taking the full brunt of the Bastion. However, he's able to weather the storm fairly well until he's not taking...
He's so low.
1 health. God, he's almost dead.
Yeah,
Stop, he's not dead.
We are trying to get the flank, dealing damage through the shield of the Eon, but already the Kitsune Rush getting brought out. Mafia actually goes down in the midst of it.
Uh-oh.
But the entirety of Boise State's getting pushed back.
Still getting
Maxwell
hunted.
actually able to survive.
You wouldn't expect him to survive that, especially with the Kitsune Rush at his back. However, out comes Strider doing a ton of damage to Lau, and he's going to go down. That's a support gone, and Boise State has a good chance to get right back into the action.
They loused a support.
Yeah, they loused him.
I'm so funny. Ooh,
Mafia. And he's going to get Mafia too, for good measure. But Ohio State has ticked over the 50 wave mark. Oh, out comes Sound Barrier.
Ooh, that'll keep him a little bit longer. And the Deadeye
clear.
Oh,
but
right after.
Soon after.
Strider getting revenge on his lovely, lovely teammate. Slowly building up that percentage.
He's like, you don't kill my teammates, I kill yours. Out comes Maxwell with the turret form, looking to get one kill. He's going to find Mafia, who's on the Sombra. I'm a little surprised he swapped to the Sombra. I mean, the Echo wasn't working super well, but we'll just have to see. Sombra is really odd right now, especially with her rework, being that she can't really go invisible on her own, has to teleport. However, against a character like Wrecking Ball, it is a good counter pick.
Yeah, the moment that Wrecking Ball gets hacked, he basically loses all control. Yeah. So, ideally, he never gets put in that situation, but for Ohio State, that's probably going to be Mafia's main focus.
Yeah, Lyric does get a good headshot, forcing him back. Out comes Kitsune Rush with a little bit of help from Maxwell on the turret form, is doing a ton of damage, forces out the Suzu. King Donut just getting chunked down as Mafia on the Sombra is going to get onto the point. Forces Annihilation, but so does the Minefield. Out comes the Sound Barrier as well, kills King Donut out of Annihilation, and that's going to be overtime on the first point. Clear is getting two, doesn't quite go down yet, and Mafia's down. He's down for the count, and Boise State is going to take this point.
First flashpoint down, 2 more to go. Boise State putting up a pretty good show. King Donut actually switching to the Orisa. Seeing more and more Omnics today. We almost see all of them. If only we'd see our favorite.
We love Zenyatta.
I love Zendaya. He's my favorite Overwatch character.
Yeah, man, I love Zendaya. He's my favorite Overwatch actor.
Ooh, you see Maxwell.
I loved his appearance in Hamster Man.
Oh, that's a hack right onto Strider.
Oh, Strider.
Oh, like I said, it's a tough place to be, especially out of ball form, too. You can't really do anything. Another hack onto Maxwell, too.
It's taken out of artillery form early, and that's not good at all. Lau getting taken down low, but not quite enough to kill.
Ohio State going to be getting the first take onto the second flashpoint. King Donut pushing up far. They're in a tough spot, but is able to teleport over to Hex.
Oh, but with 3 people, Clear is going to be able to use his wall. However, Red is going to catch Lyric out in a really bad position.
Wait, but the sneaky take onto the flashpoint?
Almost goes
through. Wait, but King Donut's hurt.
Oh, forces Sound Barrier. Red is able to get it through, and Maxwell's off the map with the boop. We hate it and we love to see it. Mafia is going to get the kill onto Clear with the hack, and Strider is on the Zarya, but it's just not going to matter. Mafia is going to take him down.
The moment you said that Mafia made a strange choice with the Sombra, he just started going crazy. That's multiple hacks leading to multiple kills already. That's not the place you want to be in.
Yeah, the Suzu getting used by Lyric, trying to keep Hex trying to keep Clear alive for a little longer. Maxwell is still coming back to point. A little help from Strider. It'll be interesting to see how it plays, especially with King Donut back on the Ramatra. Noticing that maybe the Orisa isn't necessary anymore. Clear gets taken out early with a massive EMP. It's going to hit everyone.
That's going to be most likely a flashpoint loss to Boise State. Wait, but he got EM just at the end.
He got his at the very end.
They actually took each other down. What a dramatic and poetic moment.
Yeah. Next flashpoint is going to go down, and Laxel is going to get caught out in the open.
Why didn't Mafia bring out the Sombra in the first place? Because he is causing some carnage with these hacks.
Yeah, the Bastion is a really weird pick here.
Right as you say it, though?
Yeah.
Right on the Sojourn.
Yeah, he's on to Sojourn. I like that pick just a little bit more. You can do a little bit more with it, especially single target burst damage. And playing Ramatra, you're not going to be shooting at the tank. You're going to be charging off the tank to shoot at a support, shoot at a DPS, do something. Clear taking a lot of damage from EM with the Cassidy. Mafia also getting taken down low on that off angle. King Donut forced into the corner. Both Kitsune rushes are used. It's same with the High Noon, looking to find something. It's
but
going
the
to
sound
make
barrier.
Yeah, sound barriers
on
going to make
all
it
of
so
them.
everybody can get up through. Out comes
the Graviton
surge.
Everything getting popped.
Everything happened.
All that's left is Lau, caught in the corner. Boise State able to retake the flashpoint and getting a full team kill.
And I will say, both teams using the same amount of ultimates, being around the same spot as well. Maxwell and Clear being close to theirs, and King Donut and Mafia being close, or King Donut and Red being closest on Ohio State's side.
Boise State just did a really good job with their counter ults, using that sound barrier to keep everyone alive in the midst of that.
Out
that
comes
Deadeye.
Sombra.
Not able to find anything on Lyric though. Good place to be.
Sneaky Sombra.
Sneaky.
Sneaky
Ooh,
Sombra.
lots of damage being put onto Strider.
The
but even
Suzu
more.
comes through, but 4 people take out Lyric incredibly fast, and they're just going to shove Strider in a locker.
Boise State is currently at the 50% mark, and Clear has the wall, but I don't know if it's going to keep them alive. Maxwell with an overclock onto Lau. Lots of damage out of the DPS.
Clear's gonna
What
take
is
him out.
happening? I was really scared there for a second, but man, the DPS is going crazy right now. Clear's hurting.
And
Tries to
Strider's
take
back
on
on the
Mafia. It's
wrecking
just King Donut. And he goes down. Ooh, that was close. I honestly think this is going to be a flashpoint take for them.
Yeah, Strider snapped out of the Zarya delusion, and he's like, I'm just gonna go back.
in the
Ball is life.
I like how both of the characters he plays have a lot to do with the ball. You know.
Yes. I mean, Zarya's got her bubbles. She's got her.
Bubbles, the Graviton Surge, the right click, like. She's all orb focused. And then there's Sigma. He has the roughly orb-shaped things that he shoots.
And then there's also the big rock. The big circle
obviously.
rock.
Big circle rock, yeah.
However, Boise State currently up 2-1, winning this flashpoint
King
will win
Donut.
them the game.
Back to the Orisa, though.
He's like, it's like a tank counter swap. Every time Strider does something good on the Wrecking Ball, he swaps over to Orisa. Every time he swaps off, he swaps back to the Ramatra.
Oh, that's a hack onto Strider. Not what you want to see.
But he's
kept
able to get
alive.
Ohio State looking at quite a few ultimates here. Lau, EM, and Mafia all sitting at around 70. Red is ready to use his, but the spear onto Clear is going to allow him to get shoved back, and he's going to get piled on by everyone.
Yeesh.
King Donut taking him down, but Strider still keeping the entire enemy team really distracted.
King Donut's hurting
And
real
King
bad.
Donut!
That's good. That's a great place to be in. Taking down that tank. That's what you need.
Oh, Mafia with the Sombra is going to get tagged. They know where he is now. However, Maxwell's looking for a good off angle, is not quite going to find it though. Not really knowing where he should be. Manages to stop.
EM goes down.
Ooh,
Mafia getting shot at, forced to teleport away, but Maxwell is quick to chase him down. Isn't able to find anything quite yet.
Yep. You can't see him. He's too invisible, too fast.
If he's invincible, why can I still see him?
Oh no, if he's invisible, why can he be hurt? Hex is going to be hacked, taking a lot of damage. Out comes the Kitsune Rush, trying to get him up forward just a little bit. Boise State has a ton of ults to work with as well, looking for the right
Hex
time to
is
use
hurting,
them.
but
They're
so
going
is
to kill
King
Hex before he
Donut.
can use his ult. Kitsune Rush comes through. Clear goes down on the high ground to Lau, and Strider is alone on the point,
This would be a great
looking to keep it.
minefield place. We might be seeing it brought out. Maxwell takes out EM. Red's hurting for health, but stays alive. Maxwell jumping around everywhere, sliding, but isn't able to find anything. Minefield goes down, covers a big portion of the map, up to 85% on the point. Tries to ram into Lau, but he gets the takedown first. Isn't able to get anything out of that minefield. Now, Ohio State is currently going to be able to retake the point and has that ultimate advantage.
Yeah, 2 ults used out of Boise State, nothing out of Ohio State. Both of them looking around the same on ults available to use. King Donut, Mafia, and EM all have theirs that they can use. Out comes the wall, canceled out by the EMP. Beat is going to hit no one. Maxwell and Clear are going to go down, but Lau is going to go down to Lyric, getting taken down early. Lyric is also going to go down to King Donut. King Donut sitting on just a half health, but Strider is not able to finish it out. Too much pressure, and the ultimates go in the favor of Ohio State.
Yeah, Boise State only has that overclock just about done, but both Ohio State has 2 to work with right now, and a crazy javelin throw. Red out of Maxwell, like crazy.
Oh, the Terror Surge comes out. Is it going to find anyone? No, it's not going to find Hex. He's able to get out just in time. Clear is going to go down to Ion, but King Donut's going to find him. Overclock comes through. EM goes down. Tons of shots being taken, but Lau's going to take out Maxwell. And I think it's pretty safe to say Ohio State's going to get point 2. It is going to come down to the 5th flashpoint.
This is a scary place to be in. It's so close. Lyric was able to take down King Donut, but it's not enough. Little too late. And now we're going to the final flashpoint. If Boise State is able to take this, we will be going to a Game 5. But if not, that's going to be the end of tonight. This is a scary place to be in, and already starting things off. Wait, but just barely Hex is able to take down Lau. And Strider gets saved by his team in the middle of the hack. Yeesh.
That and also a little bit of help from his supports too. That's always good.
Well, that's what I mean.
Big slam.
The save out of the save out of the support.
Not able to save him though. Oh, but it does force out the sound barrier. Doesn't have to use an ult for the sound barrier to get out. That is what you want to see. You don't want to use anything to get it through, but unfortunately, Rhett's going to find Maxwell as well, and Boise State's going to have to back off. And that first point capture is going to go to Ohio State.
You do see the minefield out of Strider though. While a couple more build up very slowly towards Boise State's favor. Kitsune Rush about 75% of the way through. Scary place to be.
Strider looking for the right spot to go. But the hack isn't going to find. The High Noon's coming through, looking to find somebody. Doesn't quite find anything. Clear looking to do something around here, but Mafia with the hack is going to get him. But the minefield comes through, and that's going to be gone by Mafia. Red taken down to 1, but pushes Strider in the corner. Is not able to get out. Maxwell taking out Eum. Lau going down as well to Lyric. It's just King Donut and Rhett left on the point. This is winnable for Boise State as the point starts to tick that way.
And a
Kitsune Rush gets used, which is an interesting choice. However, it is going to force Ohio State back, and that's just what they need to take the point. Ohio State managing to get to 50%.
Yeah, but now Boise State don't have any ults to work with. A couple more getting decently close, but Lau currently has the Kitsune Rush, and Mafia almost has the EMP. Speaking of, Kitsune Rush gets brought out by Lau. Punches clear right in the face.
King
Donut's hurt real bad.
Gets
Great
taken
shot
down
out of Hex.
Finally, they kill him on 1 health.
That's a good place to be in. Losing their tank is not what you want to see. Max was hurting real bad, and they are still able to retake the point even without the tank. Overclock gets brought out. A great shot into Lau. Another one onto Eum getting taken down. Lots of pressure being put onto the support. Oh, we see trying to stop Mafia, trying to stall, but Boise State's able to retake it. And Hex does have
and he gets his get back on Mafia. He's like, I've had enough of you.
Yeah.
Go away.
Even with that Kitsune Rush getting brought out, Boise State was able to continue holding the point and is now nearly matching Ohio State's charge.
Yeah, 1 DPS, 1 tank, and 1 support. Same on both sides with ultimates. Sound barriers on both sides. Out comes the big wall. Is the EMP going to come through? No, it's not.
Start.
Mafia's
Taking
gone.
Down Mafia.
Out comes the sound barrier. Both sound barriers are popped. No one's really able to do much. Out comes the Terror Surge, and it's going to find no one. Everybody's able to get out. Lyric gets a pick. Another one as well. Maxwell looking for a third. Isn't going to find it, but Lyric is on a tear.
And that... it just barely stopped. The EMP comes out. But a double takedown, putting down the minefield just to solidify it. We are going to be seeing Game 5. That's a double match point.
Map 5. This is the first time we've seen the Broncos go there, and what a team to do it against. #1 in the PEC, brought to Map 5. The first time Ohio State has been here. Can they handle the pressure?
This is a scary place to be in for both teams right now. Lots of pressure off Ohio State to not want to lose their streak, and everything on Boise State to be able to take down the champions. This is a scary spot for everybody right now.
Also, I kind of want to give props to Rhett just for the Lucio gameplay.
He was cracked.
The amount of times he shoved Strider in a corner was very funny. Especially because he was always playing around Orisa as well. Like, I believe this fight is one... Actually, no, this is the very final fight. But you could just see him playing alongside of him. But, I mean, just look at Lyric. I mean, just on a complete and utter tear throughout the entire team. Picking off Lau, picking off King Donut, and just overall winning them that fight in the end, just doing enough damage to finish things off.
I think what really made things difficult there for Strider a lot was there's a lot of CC being placed onto him, a lot of pushing specifically. There was the spear out of Orisa, there's the boop out of Lucio, there's the hack out of the Somber. It's like there's so many things that can be put onto Strider and stop him while he's rolling, pun intended, yet again. So they just did everything in their power to stop Strider in his tracks. But even then, they were able to persevere. They were able to prevail and take that 5th and final flashpoint. So he was able to push past all of that, and that gives me a little bit of hope for Game 5.
But do you want to know what else they did? They took out other players. They weren't just focusing on King Donut. We've seen so much of the effort being put into King Donut, and in the end, he's still able to stay up. But why is he able to stay up? He's got his supports with him. How many times do you see Lau get taken down first in the fights?
A lot of times.
A lot. In every fight that he went down first, they lost. Because Rhett, goated. I love Lucio. Love Lucio so much, but he does not heal. He is not good at healing. So you take out the Kiriko, and you take out so much value
Well, I really think I don't want to throw Boise State under the bus for the previous round on Escort because they did really try to take down the sports. But Winston kept them alive. King Donut with that pick was exceptional. But the moment they switched over to something that wasn't Winston, they haven't been able to keep their supports alive as much. And we saw a lot of panic out of, well, kind of both sides tanks, really, but a lot out of King Donut, not being able to decide which tank is going to service his team better. In the end, I believe Orisa was the better pick. But even then, Orisa doesn't do as good of a job at keeping the supports alive, and that was allowing Boise State to continue doing what they do best, going back to taking down all the supports.
It was also in response to what Strider was doing as well. We saw Strider on the Wrecking Ball to begin with. Good pick into Ramatra, was able to get behind him really easy. And in a response to it, tried to pick the Orisa, tried to cancel it out. And it's like we were saying earlier, trying to counterpick the Wrecking Ball is not what you want to do. You want to counterpick the rest of the team. And we saw that. Every time that the Wrecking Ball came out and the Orisa was there, they might have gotten the kill on Wrecking Ball, but it wouldn't matter because the rest of the team would just run them over.
Yep.
And obviously Strider did switch to the Zarya for the one time, and it didn't quite work out. But we saw him swap back onto Ramatra, and he was fairly high on ult percentage on the Orisa, and I do agree with you. That's how they lost that third point.
It's like we always say when it comes to Strider players. This is the third time I've done this tonight. As we say with Wrecking Ball players, Strider being one of them. Fun fact, in case you guys didn't know that.
Rename Wrecking Ball to Strider.
Exactly, in his honor. I think we should do that. But Wrecking Ball plays like a third DPS, not like a tank. And so they're just focusing too much on the one DPS character, and not the supports keeping the three quote-unquote DPSs alive. Obviously, Wrecking Ball is still a tank. I'm not saying he's not a tank, but he acts very much like a DPS.
He's basically not a tank. He is a off-tank through and through.
Yep, and that's, I think, just what made things a lot more difficult for Ohio State, is they weren't able to, they didn't really take that into account like we had seen a couple times in the past from the teams going up against Boise State.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go up against this next little bit, especially because they do get the next map pick. They have the advantage going into it on Escort. They get to pick it. In my opinion, that is usually what's made or broken. Every team has different preferences, and it'll all depend on where we're going. And from the looks of things, Kings Row.
I was
about to guess Kings Row.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but it's always Kings Row. We always see him on Kings Row.
I was waiting for the sound cue because I heard them load in, and I could see their screens, and I thought I saw Kings Row, but I didn't want to quite say it until I saw or heard the thing.
Well, we've seen a lot of great gameplay from Boise State when being put onto Kings Row. And honestly, it's just really exciting because, this is like the Overwatch map. When I think of Overwatch, I think of this map, mainly just because I see competitive play, and this is what I always end up seeing. But, this is an exciting map to be ending on. 2-2, match point either side. This is super high stakes out of both teams. Ohio State, once again, wanting to keep their streak, and Boise State wanting to do everything they can to topple it.
Yeah, with a lot of the bans already being used, there's not a whole lot to choose from to target ban. You don't have the Wrecking Ball target ban. You possibly don't have the Cassidy. You possibly don't have the Tracer. And
we haven't really seen the bans a ton.
Yeah, we haven't seen the bans
so
a ton.
it's hard to say.
However, I don't think we've seen the Cassidy ban yet, and that might just be shown because I don't see Cassidy up there. Can EM pull through without the Cassidy?
We've seen him play pretty well in other characters, so I'm sure he's still going to do just fine.
That's
but
true.
Cassidy's definitely his go-to. So.
Yeah. In round one, he struggled the most when he wasn't playing Cassidy.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it does look like a pretty bog-standard composition, but I do see a Cassidy coming out, so it was not the ban. King Donut and Mafia, going back to the Zarya Reaper comp that we saw in the first round, however, swapping out the Mauga. Realizing that maybe Zarya is a little bit better of a pick. Strider focusing up on that one high ground on the left-hand side, and the rest of the Ohio State team is moving into the hotel.
They're pushing forward really fast, but a lot of damage is being put onto the support.
Clear!
Both Lau and Rhett heard it. Clear gets taken down, but so does Rhett. Lau is low, so is Mafia. Lots of Ohio State's players are low, but just then are able to heal back up. And Lyric gets sniped. Oh, this is a tough place to be in. Hex gets brought down low, too. He's just barely alive. Is he going to be able to escape? He's getting chased down by the other Lucio. He's running for his life.
Oh, but the point is ticking in favor of Ohio State. Mafia still on the point, is going to be forced out. No, he's not. He's still on the point.
First tick.
Oh, getting that first tick. Mafia is moving back to try take out Strider with the rest of his team moving on to the point. King Donut and EM both sitting on the point fairly comfortably as tick 2 is almost there. Red is going to take out Maxwell, but EM gets taken down by Clear. King Donut takes out Clear as well, but Lyric goes after Lau. Strider sitting right there on the point, preventing it from going up any farther. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the point.
It's so close. Strider's the only one left here on the point. He's getting supported by Lyric as much as possible, but there's not a lot that he can do alone. getting ticked up.
Getting taken
and he gets taken down,
early.
and that's going to be the payload given towards Ohio State.
Yeah, it's an odd composition to hold that point. You don't have a whole lot of ground presence.
Lyric
getting
at 2
taken down to
health.
2. Not being healed, unfortunately. Just trying to speed the rest of his team out. Maxwell in the back line, looking to find something with Sojourn. Just not going to find anything.
Ohio State pushing Boise State back really far. So that way EM can sit there twiddling his thumbs
spinning
on the point.
He's got his fidget spinner. He's just spinning away. But Red's going to get nuked. What just happened?
Oh, we're seeing a lot of ultimates getting built up too. 2 out of Ohio State, a couple more. All 3 of them well on the way with a couple more out of Boise State.
Oh, gets the hinder.
Ooh, crazy shot out of Maxwell. I thought he deflected the shot right back at EM's face.
That's what it looked like, but a good shot out of Maxwell is going to take him down. Mafia getting taken down to 1. Minefield going in the back line. It's going to separate Donut from the rest of the
Donut's all
team.
alone. That's a good place to be in. And they're able to isolate the rest of the team. Hex actually gets taken down in the middle of it. But Rhett hurting for health. A good stagger.
9 ultimates.
Lots of punches getting thrown out right now. Yeah, geez, the only thing we've seen so far is the minefield. There's going to be a lot of craziness happening in this next team fight. I can see it now.
Yep, and there goes Strider with his patent-pending Christmas tree
He's
ornament.
just hanging around.
Yep, just hanging around. Oops, Strider going to catch Mafia. Not going to find the kill, but do a lot of damage. Out comes the Graviton Surge, and support ult. Loud goes down.
Shot.
Isn't going to be able to use it, but Lyric goes down as well. Both Kitsune Rushes are on the field. Maxwell and Clear both using their ultimates as well. Ohio State doesn't use any of their DPS ultimates, but that is almost every ultimate on the field.
Oh, and right at the end.
Oh, yeah, right at the end.
Snipe
Mafia's going to go down.
That's a good stagger off the DPS players from Ohio State, but they both have their ultimates ready. Death Blossom and Deadeye.
7 ultimates hit the field. What? I don't even know. That is.
But that's a lot of time ticked down from the clock. They haven't made it to that checkpoint yet.
Yeah, 3 minutes left to really get it done. Eum getting taken down low. Laos also getting taken down to 1. Is not found by Clear. However, he is in there just trying to do something, but can't deflect the laser. No help is found, and Rhett's going to find Maxwell in the back line. Boise State down 3 as Lyric finds his match. Strider going down soon after, and Hex.
And neither of the ultimates got brought out either. They just did that all with their normal abilities and their normal attacks.
Yeah, that is a team wipe out of Boise State. Just not very good play getting back on that one.
But they're pushing forward. Strider almost has that minefield up and ready again, which is a great zoning tool, especially in a map as thin as King's Row.
Oh, Deadeye's going to find Maxwell.
Right, that was a quick draw with that one.
Strider just chilling, holding the point for a few seconds.
Oh, but he's hurt and he's getting chased real fast.
He's able to get back.
Anxiously watching that health bar.
Yeah, he's barely able to get back. He's still hiding out in the back line. But Clear trying to catch Mafia out before he uses the ultimate. Gets the bubble, uses the Death Blossom, but a second bubble comes through and it's going to save him. Clear and Lyric both going down. Hex finding his match, same with Strider. Maxwell going down to EM, or taking down EM, but unfortunately getting run down by the rest of the team. And Boise State really struggling to find their foothold.
And that's that first checkpoint too. We see the switch over to Ash on Clear, hoping just to be able to take advantage of the high ground and keep them as far away from that end as possible. All they got to do is stall. We see the minefield out of Boise State and the Kitsune Rush out of Ohio State. It is looking scary, but both teams have a couple options. Minefield goes out, a few fall into the void, but the rest get placed on the King Donut. Gets brought down real low. He does survive. And
manages to get the burn onto Mafia, but he does manage to clear it with the teleport. Boise State really struggling to keep their supports alive in these matchups. They're just getting run over by the Mafia and the King Donut, and Strider isn't really able to find the same success. Speaking of Mafia, already on the high ground, forced out the raid, then out comes the Kitsune Rush as well. Boise State not finding a whole lot of footwork, and they are just getting pushed into the corner. Out comes the overclock from Maxwell. Diving in by Strider. The Kitsune Rush is gone. King Donut out.
That's
and he's gone. Overclock is on the table. However, Ohio State has 3 ults to work with as well. Strider looking to find Laos is not going to find it as he continues it pushing and trying to get Laos.
That was tough. The hinder right onto Strider. He barely able to survive with the protection of his team. We do see an ultimate advantage out of Ohio State. King Donut just about to build up that Graviton Surge, and they are going to be at an advantage.
Yeah, having that Graviton Surge is going to be scary, but they also have the beat. But Red's going to use it early.
Beat already.
Going to beat engage.
Both supports.
But it's going to force the other beat as well. Hex is going to have to use
it
for
gets
the
wasted.
Graviton, but he dies in it. Lyric and Maxwell both go down though, but we are still even. Trying to find something before going down, but Hex is going to find him. Red sitting up on the high ground, looking to get a little bit of damage, but he's going to go down to Hex. Mafia is the last one left, and he can't really do a whole lot.
If I had a nickel for every time one of our supports got a triple kill in the past 2 games, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Maybe it'll happen thrice.
Maybe, but we only have 2 supports, so we can't have it happen a 3rd time. 'Cause I mean, like individual.
Oh,
unique
2
supports.
individual.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see Ohio State supports get a triple. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. I also hope not. We
with
do see
all the Boise State bias in my heart, I hope not. But
well, we can't not be. You'd probably get fired if you said you wanted Ohio State to win.
Oh, Clear getting dove on by
Ooh,
Mafia.
that was a lot of
damage onto him. It's going to charge the Death Blossom, though. Bob does come out.
Go get him, Bob.
Go get him, Fred. I mean, Bob, and he's doing a whole lot of damage in the back line. Clear isn't quite able to find much out of that.
Right
but
onto
EM
EM.
goes down.
Both
That's what you want to
Hex
see.
and Strider throwing a punch right onto him. Hex gets the final blow. Bob is able to zone them out, and they have the minefield in case they want to deal some heavy damage. Strider getting a lot of pressure putting onto him, but Clear's just up there on the high ground. Dynamite, everything getting brought out, just trying to keep Ohio State away. They have 3 ultimates on the board, and they're probably going to end up bringing them out here in this last team fight.
Yep, out comes the Death Blossom. It's going to
he
find
gets the
Hex and
double
Maxwell.
pick.
Clear's going to shoot him into him. Oh, no.
That's tough.
That is 2 down. However, Boise State does still have the minefield to use. Kitsune Rush does end up getting used on the
He's got to
intake.
get in there now if he wants to drop the minefield, but
Strider,
there's nobody
you need
there.
to go.
He's rolling in through the
Gets
underneath.
over. He gets
minefield
there.
right on top.
Oh, just barely manages to get there in overtime. Does go
but
down
the
to the
Death
Deadeye.
Blossom.
Clear goes down as well, but the minefield is still on point. King Tona doesn't go down. He's still alive, and EM is going to find 2 for a map clear for Ohio State. Already getting to 3rd point without any time left on the clock.
Yeesh. But at the very least, Boise State was able to stall until overtime. So they cooked all of their clock. So Boise State, they have a decent chunk of time to work with.
I will say that little underswing was fairly nice for Strider. However, Flash does not get you the win, and they were not able to take out King Donut when they really needed to, and that's really where it hurt.
EM got a quad kill there on that.
Yep.
That final fight, that was a quad out of him. We probably would have seen the 5th one if the end of the round hadn't kept the last Boise State player alive.
Yeah, Boise State. The wrecking ball was kind of rough on the defense. However, we're moving to offense, and that's where he shines.
It is.
Let's hope he gets a little bit more value. We are seeing a lot of counters to him, and unfortunately, when you're playing against a Reaper Zarya, you really need to address it, and it's really hard to attack the Reaper or even the backline because you have those bubbles that can be shot out to everyone.
Well, we'll see how Boise State's able to do. This is their last chance to topple the Buckeyes. This is everything that they need in order to win. They just got to get that payload all the way there to the end before they run out of time.
Yeah, we've built this up. Match point. The game lies on
3 weeks worth of build-up for the closest game I have ever seen.
For the closest game that we have, definitely the closest game that we have seen this season.
At the very least.
And moving in, starting it off strong.
We see Strider pushing out real fast. Lots of pressure being put onto Lau. He's able to stay alive. We see King Donut sticking with the Zarya. He did pretty well on him. Ooh, but both Strider, Hex, Maxwell Clear, everyone taking a heavy chunk of damage. Here's the only one who's going to be going down, though.
Not able to find very much damage. Clear is going to go down to Lau. Maxwell trying to take up that top position. Not going to find anything, though. Getting a lot of damage on EM, but still not enough to kill. Mafia sitting on the Tracer, going to 1v1 Lau, and he's going to lose it to him. Maxwell is unable to take out the support, but Mafia gets ran through. But the hinder on the Strider is going to take him out as well.
Oh, Clear goes down as well, losing one of the DPS. Only a little bit over 3 minutes on the clock to take this point.
Yeah, the Zarya is proving to be a really big problem for the squishier players.
Interesting switch. We don't see our team with the Reaper very often.
Oh, we've seen it a few times, but definitely not as much. Strider also swapping onto the Zarya. We've seen him on Zarya before. It might work a little bit better into the mirror. Clear looking for a little bit of damage. Has to get the bubble. Getting taken down low. King Donut getting also taken down incredibly low. Mafia sitting in the back line. Eum taken down, but the Deadeye comes through, forcing everybody back.
Oh, he doesn't get anything out of it.
Oh, he does not get anything out of it yet. It's still going, but
he said draw. He said draw first time. He caught me off guard.
Yes,
trying to trick me.
Yeah,
but a crazy right click on Eum.
2 kills, but Rhett's going to find Maxwell. We're still down 1, but the Kitsune Rush gets done through. Clear is going to use is going to get a kill on the back line.
King
Loud
Donut goes
down.
down.
And that
this
is going
to be that cap point. They are going to be able to get this with even more time than Ohio State I had, I believe.
Yeah, 2 minutes left on the clock for Boise State. And it's soon to be 4 minutes.
Good stuff. They have more time than Ohio State had.
Yes.
They've got more room to work with here. They just got to make it all the way to the end in 4.5 minutes, and that will be the game win.
It'll all comes down to who plays the mirror better. Will Clear and Strider come out on top, or will Mafia and King Donut Clear?
Don't forget Lyric and Lau, also on the Spirit Ghost.
Same
and Hex and Rhett. It's literally everybody.
It is just Maxwell and Eum who are on different characters. But Strider getting a lot of damage with the splash, forces the Wraith out of Mafia. Doing a ton of damage, which is good. Out comes the Kitsune Rush, looking to find Mafia, but he does get the bubble, is able to get right out. Clear goes down, and King Donut kills himself!
Oh, how did that even happen?
Zarya does damage to herself with the right click, but Eum goes down as well. Graviton Surge getting a lot of value as Boise State keeps it pushing.
4 minutes, and they're halfway to that first checkpoint. They're in a great spot right now. King Donut has that Graviton Surge, but Hex and Maxwell also have their respective ults at the ready. If Hex is able to drop that sound barrier in the middle of the Graviton Surge, not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, he's been able to. He's having to use it a lot in response to Rhett's beat, and he will have a sound barrier here fairly quickly. But out comes the Graviton Surge.
And there's the beat.
Out comes the beat out of Hex. Clear has his ultimate. Maxwell isn't finding a whole lot with the overclock. However, Strider's going to find King Donut. Clear goes down. Rhett's down as well. Boise State takes the lead.
Four.
That's
just
four.
Lau.
It's just Lau. The Kiriko on her own.
That's going to be a hefty stagger.
Yeah,
nasty.
what a stagger.
And 3 minutes, 15 seconds, they're already that first checkpoint. They have almost 5 minutes to make it a third of the way through. They're so close.
You know what they say about mirror matchups? The first person to swap is the loser, and I guess King Donut is the worst of the two Zaryas.
I guess so, but
I just pointed out.
He's played some tough Ramatra, though. We saw it
he has
on
played
push.
some tough Ramatra. But out comes Lyric, looking to find something. Maxwell getting taken down low.
Reaper's
Clear
shooting at each other.
Clear in a weird spot, and he's going to get triple teamed, but it does force out the Kitsune Rush without any ultimates of Boise's own. And that might just be what they need. Keep having Ohio State waste the ultimates on pushes that won't come out. King Donut getting a lot of fire. Same with Strider. Both tanks getting pressured out quite a bit. Strider already up to full beam, but the Deadeye comes through and is going to find Maxwell.
Poor Maxwell just getting hard focused by that Deadeye. It's the second time this game that he and him alone have been taken down by it.
I alone am the Deadeye.
Ooh, but Mafia almost has that Death Blossom at the ready.
Yeah, Mafia getting really close to Death Blossom. Hex looking to do something with his boot, but Lyric is going to have to use his thing. Oh, the Death Blossom does nothing!
It's wasted!
Strider kills Mafia, and King Donut falls as well!
That's a triple out of Strider!
Oh,
that's a quad! It's just red! Look at them go, a minute, and they're able to push halfway. They got lots of time to work with. Mafia switching to a Pharah. I have like never see Pharah.
You never see Pharah, but it might just work out. Maxwell's main fire is a projectile. The only thing that's a hit scan is the right click, which is the rail shot. But Strider is still just pushing up, has the Graviton Surge.
Ooh, Clear with the first
goes
bit.
down.
The Graviton Surge,
the Graviton.
They get it double.
It takes Donut. It takes Lau. And Boise State gets the team win. They are going to overtime. Boise State with almost 3 minutes left on the clock.
Wow. What an incredible push there at the end. Able to get a full team kill. It's so close. Boise State has nearly triple the time that Ohio State does.
We are in overtime on match point. We are game 5. We are seeing this go down to the wire. My nails are gone. You can't see it in the camera, but oh man, the anxiety has been very high for this game.
My knees have been bouncing up and down for the past 3 rounds, and now they're kicking into overdrive. This is insane. What even happened there at the end? We saw the Pharah get brought out, and you're like, maybe this will be the game changer. And then suddenly, the moment Clear got that first pick, Graviton Surge got the double, it all just fell apart. And now Boise State has so much time. They have everything they could possibly need.
The Lion does not concern himself with the pain in his chest, for it is not caffeine withdrawals. It is Game 5 of Overwatch.
I need
Boise
me a
State,
big
the
swig of
former
water.
PEC champions, versus Ohio State, the current top of the leaderboard, undefeated team, 6-0, which could very easily turn into 6-1.
This is Ohio State's last game.
Their last
final game.
Their final
No,
game.
I lied to you. It's not their final game. It's their second to last game.
No, they have
It
their
is.
bye, they have their bye week next
You're
week.
right. It is their
They had
last
their
game.
bye week last week.
Yeah, I was right the first time.
Yes.
Yes.
Si.
Senor.
But Boise State, they're going to be on offense. All they have to do is
Back on the Zarya.
They just have to get farther than Ohio State, and from the looks of things, they are in a good spot to do it. Breaking out the Zarya once again, it saw a lot of success with it.
Mafia on the Sombra.
Oh no, they only have to get one tick. I forgot this is hybrid. They only have to get one tick on the point, and they have even more time than they normally do in this game mode. Vaxel looking to pressure out King Donut, doing a lot of damage, but not quite finding much in the way of a kill. However, Clear on the left-hand or on the right-hand side is going to force
Lots
King Donut
of damage
backwards.
onto him. He's hurting. Mafia's getting hurt too. They're already on the capture point. They're pushing real fast halfway to that first tick. All they need, getting contested. Maxwell
Eom's
takes out
gonna go
Eom. That's
down.
one of their DPS players.
King Donut's alone on the point. It's
and he's
obvious
getting
there
taken
too.
down.
But
They're building
Maxwell's
up the
gone.
point. Red
Maxwell
on there.
on a tear.
Clear.
He's
That's
finding
it.
a third. And
Boise
Clear's going to
State.
close it out. Boise State wins, toppling the Titan and bringing them to the victory. 3-2. What a game.
Wow, bringing things all the way to overtime and then taking an incredible team kill to end things off. Strider rightfully getting that play of the game there
Oh,
at the
my
end.
hands hurt.
I've been slamming, I've been screaming.
I have also been doing that, and my hands hurt now.
But what a game
Wow.
to end it out. Second to last week of the season, and I don't think we're going to see a game closer than that.
Ohio State 6-1, Boise State 4-2.
So, do you think we just saw our PEC Grand Champion match?
That might have been.
That might
have been.
I wouldn't doubt you if you said that was, because that is my prediction for PEC Grand Finals. That is who it's going to be. Great teams, great game, and in the end, Boise State played it a little bit better, got a few picks where Ohio State didn't, but what a game. And we are not done with you guys quite yet, because we have a interview after this, or we have a top 5 after this. So, while we may be done with Overwatch, great game out of Boise State, we still have our top 5 plays of the game. And believe me, it was hard to pick the top 5, but please stick around. It's not going to be something you'd want to miss.